wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hayati binti Muhammad Daud, matric number 1714590, and I'll be the first presenter to discuss with you our group project or our group presentation entitled Are We For or Against Mixed Marriage? Okay, so according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, mixed marriage is a term used when two people of the opposite gender from different racial, religion, or ethnic groups get married to each other. In Islam, the concern of different religious status is the only prohibited way to get into mixed marriage because of the difference in faith. We will be discussing about Hukum Syara, the legal provision, the statistics of mixed marriage in Malaysia, and both advantages and disadvantages of mixed marriage itself.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuratika. I'm going to continue on the part of the Hukum Syara. According to the Hukum Syara, the mixed marriage is permissible, but there is some condition, which is the spouses where the bride and the bridegroom, which is the male or female, must be Muslims, which is wajib, obligatory. Both parties must be a Muslim. If they want to getting married between different races or different from different countries, but the parties or the spouses must be Muslim. So if we can see here, the mixed marriage in the context of between races, between countries, and between religions. Okay, in Islam, the marriage between religions is forbidden unless the spouses, either male or female, is converted to Islam. Later, their marriage was in Islam. Let's say if the female wanted to marry the Muslim male, so the female must convert to Muslim, not the male convert to the female religion, which is, for example, like the Muslim male convert to Christian, Buddha, or anything else. Okay, exceptional in the case of the marriage between Muslim with Kitabiyah. Okay, next is some legal provisions that we can refer in Malaysia. Before that, in the Hukum Syara, we can refer in the Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 221. You may check later. And then under legal provision, we refer to the section 2, whereas under Islamic Family Law Federative Theory, whereas the meaning of Kitabiyah, A woman whose ancestors were from the Bani Yaqub, or B, a Christian woman whose ancestors were Christians before the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, or C, the Kitabiyah, a Jewish whose ancestors were Jews before the prophethood of the Prophet Isa alayhi salam. And then we also can refer to section 10 under Islamic Family Law Enactment 2004. There is the provision that I took from the enactment in the Malay version. Under section 10, orang dari agama lain, which is mean the person or people from other religions, tiada seseorang lelaki atau perempuan boleh berkahwin dengan seseorang bukan Islam kecuali seseorang Kitabiyah. No female or male can be married with non-Muslim except for Kitabiyah. like I have been mentioned before. Okay, the subsection 2, section 10, subsection 2, which mention tiada seseorang perempuan boleh berkahwin dengan seseorang bukan Islam. There is no woman that can be married to the non-Muslim. So now the issue of whether the Kitabiyah group still exists. Sorry. Whether the Kitabiyah group still exists in things we will not discuss in further in this article. Regarding interfaith marriage, we firmly believe that there is no other way but our future spouse is ready to embrace Islam. So, in the context of Malaysia, if we can see, since our Malaysian have so many races like Chinese, Indian, also in Sabah and Sarawak, we also have too many what we call ethnic, and then each other can be married between different races, and then Malaysian wanted to marry to um, a British person. It also can, as long as both spouses are Muslims and marry in the religious of Islam. That's the important. I think that's all from my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Widayatul Solehah binti Abdullah. I will continue to this presentation on statistic on mixed marriage in Malaysia. Okay, from this chat that I given to you, that from 100%, 91% is non-different ethnic, which is not involved in mixed marriage in Malaysia, and only 9% which involved in mixed marriage in Malaysia. So just a small group that involved in mixed marriage. This chat is for in 2018, which is 18,509 out of 206,253 involved of different ethnic groups marriage, which is 9%, which is mixed marriage in Malaysia, and for the previous year, which is in 2017, only 16,238 out of 203,741 involved in mixed marriage in Malaysia. Alright, from just now I said about marriage in Malaysia, percent who involved in mixed marriage, or and what and percent who not involved in mixed marriage in Malaysia. So for this one is for chart for inter-ethnic marriage in Malaysia. So we can see that half and more non-Muslim in Malaysia, which involved in mixed marriage in Malaysia, which is 41.7%, and for Muslim which involved in intermarriage in Malaysia, mixed marriage, 48.3% in out of 100%, and then out of 18,509 inter-ethnic marriage in Malaysia in 2018, 48 was Muslim and 51.7 was not Muslim. And Muslim mixed marriage increased by 1.9%, while non-Muslim mixed marriage declined by 0.5%. So for this mixed marriage in Malaysia, the median age of grooms and brides have remained at 28 and 26 respectively. So the intermarriage mixed marriage in Malaysia has become normal from in currently because uh, the statistic is in the statistics was increased in year by year, and this statistic I from the Department of Statistic Malaysia. Okay, there is several pictures that couples in Malaysia who are married to different culture and races in Malaysia. Some are married to Korean guys, some are married to African guys, some are married European guys. So, basically, the mixed marriage in Malaysia has become has become common in Malaysia. So, I will pass to our friends to continue the presentation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Rafanti Mohammed and I'm talking about the advantages of mixed marriage. One of the biggest interracial marriage benefits is creating children with more diverse genetics. Genetics between different cultures and races vary drastically. When these races are blended together, children can benefit. This is because each race has their own set of diseases and an increased rate of disease. When children are born from a mixed marriage, their risk of developing a disease that is higher in a particular race can be reduced. In addition, some research has found that biracial children who are born with more diverse genetics background tend to have sharper thinking skills, educational attainment, and cognitive ability, which correlate from their genetics diversity. Next is appreciation each other differences. Having intercultural marriage will also strengthen the bond between two differences identity. A good respect and a greater mutual understanding can make both parties to live in harmony. So children from interracial parents are very special and outstanding. They can adapt the cultural differences easily. This is due the way their parents raising them by expose the diverse culture at home. As they grow older, they will be open-minded when accepting and exploring others' culture. So the children will have less difficulties in increasing relationship and communicating with others. Lastly is learning about new culture. Mixed marriage allow each other to learn about one another's culture. This is because it is important for the couple to talk about each other's beliefs and values. So being exposed to another culture is one of the best interracial marriage benefits because it makes you grow. You get to listen to a new kind of food, new language, experience new customs, and meet new people along the way. You will also experience new cultural holiday, existing celebration in a different way. For example, a Chinese Muslim husband and Malaysian Muslim wives. The Chinese New Year, the husband will bring his wife and celebrate it together. The Malaysian wife will not only exposed to the festival, but also explore more on the culture of the Chinese community as well. Similarly, when the Malaysian wife celebrates Hari Raya, Eid al-Fitr, the Chinese husband will be exposed to the Malay culture during the festival season.
Now, we will present about disadvantage of mixed marriage. The first one, we will look at the language barrier and miscommunication. When we are overwhelmed with emotions, we tend to assume the worst about our partner and let the conversation and the relationship go downhill. Fortunately, we realized such shortcoming and have been working really hard to better communicate our feelings and intentions. But feeling uncomfortable with not understanding language cannot be avoided when this thing happens. Next, we move to disapproval from parents. One's family probably forms the closest group of people, and if they are intolerant about mixed marriage, you might face some problem. Even if your family does not actively pressure you to end the relationships, there might always be an awkward tension at gathering or on the dinner table. Lastly, we move to the culture shock. Due to a different background culture, when people get accustomed to their original tradition, it will be a value that remain unspoken but has been so much important in their life. It become an important value to the people, and this issue will become bigger when the couples stay at a different country before this, and they will feel like a stranger because after marriage they need to move to their spouse country. This feeling somehow make the partner uncomfortable when they stay out of their comfort zone and culture. Okay, that's all.
So we have discussed about Hukum Syara and as well as the legal provision, and we have also touched slightly and we have conversed about the statistics of mixed marriage in Malaysia, and we have talked about the advantages and as well as the disadvantages of mixed marriage in Malaysia. And as we have made transparent, we actually condone this type of marriage as long as it doesn't contradict with the teachings of Islam. And multiple research papers have proven that there are always more to be digged in order to fully investigate and understand this controversial issue. And according to Internation, in their research paper from this year 2020, they have said, quote, end quote, the involvement of extended family members in the child rearing process, behavioral expectations, and the question of what is considered appropriate frequently cause heated discussions. And although it is also a fact that there are more negative notions around this issue, there is always better reasonings as to why this type of marriage is encouraged in Islam. Thank you. That's all from us.